I never supported them, so how can I protest them? And I never liked Bud Light. Me not buying Bud Light doesn't hurt Bud Light.
Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards. Jamie, how the heck are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm in the air conditioning business. It's in the middle of air conditioning season, and people are going crazy.
It is hot, and that means we are busy. Thank God.
Yeah, and we're now all angry at each other. Usually we get through that in June, but we didn't have really a hot June, so
It's been a slow start to the year, so
we're at the
everybody's in freak out mode now versus a
June.
month. Yeah, usually we hit freak out mode at the very end of May and the beginning of June, and then kind of by the end of June, it tapers off a little bit, and we're out of freak out mode, and
we're just used to it.
It's just a daily grind then. It's your normal.
Now we're getting used to it's hot. Oh shit, it's hot.
It is hot. It is very hot.
It's humid.
It is 88 degrees. I think tomorrow.
I think it's 80% humidity at 88 degrees. I got out of my air-conditioned flying toaster. And
flying toaster. I can see the toaster. The element does look like
my glass is fogged up.
The brave little toaster.
It's
that Disney.
It's rebuilt.
I don't know if it's a Disney movie or not.
It's almost new. It's the first time I can ever remember.
First time I've seen it, so I like it. I think it's cool looking.
First time ever I think I've been ripped off buying a car.
I think the camper you're going to build is going to look pretty cool behind that thing.
Oh, I'm excited. We're going to put the first ever, we'll record it.
Yeah,
put on YouTube, but we're going to put a slide out on it. So if we go to a race or we go to Pikes Peak or we do the Spanish Trail as our next adventure, Brad and I don't have to sleep next to each other. One of us can be in the slide out.
As long as we're not sharing a mat, I'm good. No, Jamie's going to build a micro square drop or teardrop. Which one are you building?
I'm doing the square drop.
He's going to build a square drop foamy camper with a slide in it. Manual
slide. I'm not going to motorize it.
Yeah.
And an air conditioner, of course, since we're in the air conditioning business.
You got to have air in it.
Yeah.
That's basically all I've watched on YouTube here lately has been these DIY micro campers. They're building these square drops. And
when I put a sub panel in it, should I do 30 amp or 50 amp?
I think 30 amp, if that's enough. Well, you need to see what your air conditioner is going to need.
I've already looked it up. A little 5,000 BTU window unit can go on a 15 amp plug.
Well, my 30-foot camper is a 30 amp. So
30 amp.
One air conditioner, 30 amp. I run one air conditioner for sure. The fifth wheel we used to have, it had a 50 amp, but it was 2 air conditioners. So I think with the little small air conditioner you're putting in the dewdrop, you'll be okay.
And I'm going to have it slide in and out of my landscape trailer.
Yeah. I'm
going to put levelers on the ramp so we can put it down and we'll have a little 1.5 feet off the ground balcony.
Yeah, see, I want to build one of these as well, but I want mine to be dedicated trailer for it. So I'm looking to either have somebody build me a custom one or buy one and just do
they're like 10 grand?
No, I don't want to. No, I'm talking about the frame.
Oh, okay.
The axle, the trailer, whatever you want to call it. The base. I'm thinking about having somebody build me my frame, weld it together for me, or I found a place online that sells these bases basically because I want a full-size axle on it so to hold the weight. And then I can build it out of wood and foam.
See, I called Camping World and they said, "Oh yeah, we got the stuff you need for a slide out." And I went there and it's just motors and crap.
Yeah.
So I went out and looked. It's called I think it's the iPod or something, R-Pod.
Yeah, those things are like $30,000 or something.
13 grand for a teardrop that I can tow behind the Prius or the Element.
Oh, really?
I was like, Jeez, maybe that should be our side gig.
I think we can
build one a weekend, sell it for $6,000.
I think we can build one, a foamy or.
I'm going to do a $1,200 budget for the foamy, and that includes the air conditioner.
Yeah, I was thinking about $2,000 for the one I want to build, and that would include the air conditioner as well. It just needs to be basic. It does nothing fancy.
Well, I'm going to put a tent in it, like one of those screen tents.
Yeah.
So we have a living room.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean.
That's what we only need it to sleep in air conditioning. That's
this would be perfect. Like me and my wife like to go hiking. So we could take this up, hike for the day, have a place to crash for the night, get up, hike the next day, and go home. Instead of having to set up a tent, this gives us an option for an air-conditioned, comfortable bed to sleep in. And, I mean, at 39 now, I enjoy sleeping in a comfortable bed.
Well, I figure a Coleman griddle and a toaster, and I'm good.
Yeah. You don't even need a
I
microwave.
can make pancakes, and I can make Pop-Tarts.
And you can use a propane.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Get a propane tank for your grill.
That's why I'll bring that tent. That can be the living room.
You do a 30 amp sub panel. You can run a cooler, like an electric cooler.
Well, I was thinking college size,
like a dorm room fridge.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like Costco is giving Bud Light the cold shoulder. They just said sorry, they're not in the mood. They're not going to be restocking Bud Light when they run out.
Don't you want to plant the seed for later, though? Brad had this written by AI.
Yeah, I use Chat GT. What is it? GTP, GT3,
GTPTT,
whatever it is.
Aren't they a part of IMSA too?
Maybe.
Or
that's a class? That's a lower class.
Or is that Porsche Carrera Racing?
No. So we're gonna talk about AI and robots here in a second. But out of curiosity, I went in and had this written, just the opener. It said, "Looks like Costco gave Bud Light the cold shoulder and said sorry, we're just not in the mood." I told Chat GTP, I said, "Give me a funny opener for Costco not carrying Bud Light," and that's what it came up with. And like I said, it kind of segues into what we're about to talk about is AI. But
can we take that further and get robots? Like, let's say, like today, my balls are sweating. I would like a robot to scratch my balls because I don't know if you've noticed, I wash my hands all the time.
I'm stuck on robot to wash your balls.
But if
what are you gonna
not wash it, to scratch it?
Or you get like a mini robot?
Well, when you start getting...
is it like the little Lego men? You have a little mini Lego man robot you keep in your pocket?
Well, let's be honest. When you shave your nuts, you get a prickle stage.
You drop
it's real itchy.
Drop the Lego man down. Scratch my balls.
Like a prickly pear. And it gets itchy during that period, and it's not long enough to shave again. So if I had a robot that could scratch my balls and then the robot go wash its hands...
I'm just trying to...
Then I wouldn't have to wash my hands.
Trying to determine the size of this said robot. Is it a...
I mean, I just need like a pinky.
Full-size robot?
Scratch.
So it's like a Lego
man. Could it be gentle enough? Well, I need it to stand up. I ain't, 2 feet tall.
You just drop it in. He can hang on.
Scratch.
He can hang on with one
and it could
Lego hand.
I mean, look at this AI here. It's almost the way we would have written it.
Oh, no doubt. That's what's kind of crazy
So with AI, that robot should know whether it's my left nut or my right nut that needs itching.
Well,
or these nuts.
If you tell the robot which nut, then he knows. You don't want them in your brain too. I don't know how I feel about the whole robot thing. So an android robot in South Korea took to the conductor's podium to lead the South Korean orchestra recently, and I don't. That's, I guess...
Did it tell you how it sounded?
They said it sounded... Well, actually, you listened.
Wasn't it discombobulated? No, that's a lot of syllables, discombobulated.
So
Man, I'm proud of myself.
You watched it, and it looked like a robot doing the whole thing, and I don't know, it didn't sound bad. But to me, that's just, you program movements in, so... Then there's an AI robot they're looking to make, or they actually already built this thing, and it actually has facial expressions and conveys emotions, and they're looking to use it for the elderly, to take care of the elderly at like nursing homes and hospitals. Now that one is, I don't know how I feel about. That's kind of like giving a robot too much power. Like,
what if they're flying drones for the U.S. Air Force? Well, can they take over and nuke us?
Well, what's next? McDonald's?
Don't we become the threat?
That's what I'm saying. I guess I've seen too many movies.
Well, actually,
they've been warning about this since like the 40s, since movies started.
Well, I've read.
Even books.
They tried one of those drones, right? And let AI fly it.
Yeah.
And it was a test. It had blinks. But it told it to go hit this target. So the AI spooled up the drone, took off, went towards the target. And part of the test was the human controller then told the AI not to. So what happened was its main target was already programmed, and it decided the threat was the radio signal calling them off. So it attacked the transmitter.
Yeah,
so then they reprogrammed it.
Well, it's too late. That's why there's a problem with this AI stuff is.
And then instead of the radio frequency, it told it don't attack the radio transmitter. Then it shot the blank at the human controller because that was its biggest threat.
I just don't.
How does it figure that out on its own?
That's what I'm getting at. Like, how do you put that kind of trust into it? You know what I mean? You're teaching this robot, or you're programming this robot to learn and advance its own programming. How do you give that kind of responsibility to something that sees things black and white? There's no.
And what if some
interpretation whatsoever? Like, you could say criminal, kill criminal. Okay, shoplifter, boom.
Yeah, or
you're giving the robot way too much power.
It goes through your Facebook page and sees where it can figure out you might have lied. Like, I went on this cruise and met this hot girl, and it decides
that you did.
It's fraud, and it kills you. Right? Or the robot decides, well, he did, but she wasn't that hot. You're dead.
I don't like. I was trying to think about this. Like, when you go to McDonald's or any,
I can trust AI to flip my burger.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you program AI to where I come to the window, I place my order with a robot, which is basically what you do now anyway. We went in on the Cannonball Run because we're Cannonball Run champions.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
While we were becoming Cannonball Run champions, we stopped at a McDonald's to get my daily pancakes. And you went up to a machine. You
got to give Brad breakfast. I mean, you can't skip it.
That's all I asked for. Just feed me breakfast. But you go up to this machine, you place your order. A human brings it to you. My thought is you place the order, pay for it at machine, and then you pull up to the window and it's served to you by a robot. Take the human out of it. I mean, could you deal with a glitch in the system every once in a while with a robot versus dealing with rude service that you get now at a McDonald's or something like that?
See, rude reminds me of something. What if AI controls your Rheem air conditioner?
Yeah.
Well, it knows its name's Rheem. Can your air conditioner rape you?
Nah.
See, I would not buy a Rheem that's controlled by AI. I don't want to get reamed.
I don't know that you want AI controlling your comfort anyway. Because the power company tells you to set your air at, what, 78?
That ain't happening.
No.
What are you, high?
No,
Thanks, power company.
There's no way I'm setting my air at 78.
You make money, sell me electricity. Are you high?
I don't know. I don't support AI robots.
What happens if, say, a executive
I don't support an AI robot that can continuously learn.
Has a dumb son who's on drugs, and he's put in charge of the government's AI, like Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a criminal now, but his dad could make him head of, let's say, the Department of Defense AI program, and he's programming stuff.
That's scary.
Will it shoot you if you rat out your neighbor selling crack cocaine out of the front door?
Well, maybe that's how they plan on the population control, because Killa Camilla said over the weekend at a university in Baltimore.
Which one? Was it Johns Hopkins or University of Baltimore, University of Maryland, Baltimore?
I should have wrote that down for you. I forgot you went to school there. It was one I'd never heard of. How about that?
Loyola, Notre Dame of Maryland.
What's a crappy university that would have Kamala Harris come and speak? Probably pick the most the farthest left.
They all would love some left winger.
Yeah, so that's the one she was at.
I mean, I don't even know. Liberty University might not have her.
She said the way to combat climate change was population reduction.
Well, how do you do that without killing people?
Exactly. Do you think this was a mistake, her speaking, or you think this is her being honest?
I think she accidentally was honest.
That's what I think. Back in 2010.
But you know, if we protected our borders, our country would actually shrink based on the birth rate.
Back in 2010, Bill Gates' own record during a TED Talk saying we need population reduction.
Oh boy, and he's in computers and AI.
And the government can do that through vaccines.
What, kill us through the vaccines? That makes sense.
Bill Gates, like you said, computers, AI. That's Bill Gates' backyard. Maybe he's working with crackhead Hunter, like you said, to get Camilla's population reduction underway.
Well, they could do that with AI and drones and Hunter.
The state of Florida, the government in Florida.
Stored a few lines, he'll do whatever daddy tells him.
The government in Florida is trying to have the Pfizer COVID vaccine labeled as a bioweapon, saying that it was designed to control population. They're trying to get it labeled as a bioweapon so they can ban the shot completely in the state of Florida, making them the first state to ban the shot.
Hey, did you see that Gigolo Beach serial killer in New York?
No.
That big ass.
I heard about it, though.
Yeah, he was an architect, right?
Yeah.
So they figured out he was a serial killer by going through his trash in Manhattan and got some of his DNA, residual DNA from a pizza he ate.
What, like the crust?
Yeah, they showed a picture of the crust in the box.
Isn't that the most like...
Well, here's a question I have for you.
Guido thing ever? Like,
if they can figure out who he is on the crust, why can't the White House find out whose cocaine was in the library?
Is that like, it sounds... I'm with you there.
I mean... I'm just saying they know at the White House whose cocaine
by not telling us whose cocaine
they let us draw bizarre conclusions.
You are actually telling us exactly whose cocaine it is. By not telling us, you're telling us.
Doesn't have to be Hunter, though. He's got a sister.
Finding that dude's DNA on a piece of pizza, that's like Jersey Shore.
Did you know his sister, Hunter's sister, they're all addicted to something, those Bidens?
Yeah.
He
was sleeping with his dead brother's wife.
Yeah.
And named his next child after his dead brother.
But his sister, in a diary she left at the crack rehab house,
yeah,
admitted that she's addicted to sex. Now that should be some DNA left around the White House you could figure out, right?
You would think.
Maybe it was her cocaine.
You don't think they have the Biden's cocaine on... the Biden's DNA on file? Every one of those kids, even the illegitimate stripper kids?
The one they won't acknowledge? How can somebody that claims he's so about family not acknowledge his grandchild?
Because he's not about family. He's about himself.
See, that's my problem. We're going to end up with two people that are all about themselves.
Yeah, but like you said earlier...
Hunter Trump. Maybe they should... I think Hunter...
And what's Trump Jr.?
What's Trump's...
Donald?
Well, you can't make a baby with another man. What's his daughter's name? Ilana?
Oh, you're thinking they should have...
They need a baby.
No, I was thinking more of a Hunter Biden, Donald Jr. presidential run.
Oh, I thought you were talking about babies.
I'd want Donald Jr. to be president, Hunter to be the vice president.
That would be more messed up than even their fathers.
It would just be funny at this point. I mean, it's kind of funny at this point as it is. So.
You know what scares me? Donald.
A lot.
The Don is only 2 years younger than Biden.
I know. So.
What the hell, man? Can't we get an age
I saw where Biden has raised like pretty much $0 for his campaign run. So
but he doesn't know that.
I don't think he doesn't know he's not planning on
He
running.
doesn't even know he pooped his pants.
They haven't told him he's not running yet. So. I was watching some sprint car racing over the weekend, and I've noticed your typical sprint car fan, their outfit's made up of a cutoff shirt, cargo shorts, Crocs, and a baseball cap, and a beverage of their choice in their hand resting on their belly.
Did you see any Bud Lights?
No.
Okay.
No, I think there was a sign that said no Bud Lights here.
Or was it on their shirt?
Yeah, it was on their shirt.
Their sleeveless shirt.
Yeah,
their wife beater.
It said Michelob.
Written with a Sharpie, because they ain't going to buy no shirt.
It said Michelob, and it was spelled wrong. No, so it just made me think, like, I want to go to a sprint car race. I love sprint car racing.
Do we even have sprint car racing in Georgia?
I don't know, but if we do, I'm going to go to it.
I think we're going to have to drive.
But there's
Isn't that a Midwest thing, USAC?
There's no way I'm wearing Crocs.
Why not?
I'm not wearing Crocs, man.
I got Hey Dudes. They're owned by Crocs.
I don't care if you wear Crocs. I'm just not wearing them.
Look.
You got Hey Dudes.
I'm endorsing Hey Dudes. If you're over 40, these are light and comfortable.
I'm not over 40.
Well, you got a year.
I have 1 year left in my 30s.
For all of our listeners out there, not our stalker fans, we got a couple of those. We've got to that success rate where we have stalkers now.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact.
But it's Brad's birthday. Happy birthday, Brad.
Thank you.
It's his last year in the 30s.
Starting my last year of my 30s. I got 1 year left. I'm going
to give you Hey Dudes for your birthday next year.
I almost looked at a pair of Hey Dudes at the store the other day, but I found my Vans anyway.
Have you seen those cool ones that are red and white stripes and the other one is blue with stars and it makes the American flag?
Yeah, they're pretty...
Maybe I should give them to you early and you can wear it with your George Washington outfit.
It would probably look better than my
I think
Vans.
So. Then when we go to the square to wave to people, you can have an American... Actually, I need a pair too.
So I was thinking...
The 4th of July American shoes.
I was thinking it was so hot the 4th of July. We can do that again at the square, but I think for Christmas we wear our president outfits, our 4th of July outfits.
Oh, we need to wear them
with a Santa Claus hat on top, and we'll call it Christmas in America. And we'll just go walk around the square waving at people, and it won't be as hot in December.
You know what? I'm going to get me an Abraham Lincoln costume, and on President's Day, when it's nice and cold, we can go to the square. You can be George, and I'll be Abraham.
Wonder what an Abraham costume.
Well, of course, will I get shot in Georgia wearing an Abraham Lincoln costume?
Maybe. I don't know, man. I like yours. Your costume's perfect. I love your costume.
Yours. I liked your George Washington. The blue coat looked handsome for I'm completely hetero, but
no, I like the costume too. I want to wear that to church, but my wife said no.
Why can't you wear it to church? It's very formal.
It'd be a distraction.
You can wear penny loafers with it.
It'd be a distraction though.
Why? Do they hate America at your church?
No.
Oh, no, your pastor's a listener. I'm sorry, Pastor. What's his name? Mine's Pastor Tim.
Jim.
Pastor Tim and Jim.
Pastor Tim, Pastor Jim.
Wow.
Does Pastor Tim listen?
Sometimes.
You hope not.
Well, actually, look, I got a DM from somebody. Brad's got some DMs. They don't believe I'm a member of the Society of Friends, which is the Quakers.
Yes.
Quakers is the nickname. So, if you ever go to the Wikipedia page, there's a lot of break-offs, spin-offs of the Quakers.
Like the Oats?
Yeah, I'm an evangelical Quaker.
Not an Oats?
No, not an Oats. The Quakers start Quaker Oats, though.
I know.
And Nixon was a Quaker. So was Calvin Coolidge.
Well, honestly, I thought Quakers were like Mennonites, but...
Some people think we are. They are like, where's your buggy?
Yeah.
So anyway, I actually am a Quaker.
Yes.
Raised Baptist, Catholic.
It's a hodgepodge.
Yeah. But
he's like the potluck.
Well, here's the problem. If you're in the military, Quakers are pacifists.
You can't be a Quaker and be in the military.
So they'll vote you out of the meeting house. That's what they call the church. For those of you that don't Quaker speak.
You get kicked out.
Because now you're a warrior and they're pacifist. So my family's been very patriotic, and when it's come between the meeting house and defending the rights of Americans or becoming America, they have chose to fight. They thought that freedom was important for their freedom of religion.
Amen.
So, that's how we got convoluted in other religions, because there was a point where my father couldn't be a Quaker. But I am a Quaker. Proud of it. Family's been a Quaker since George Fox came up with it in the 1650s, basically in the area of England where we're from. And that settles that. We're not making fun of Quakers. I think it was a Quaker that sent me the DM.
Probably.
He was accusing us of making fun of it.
You offended their Quakerisms.
Well, I don't think he's an evangelical Quaker who believes that the Word of God is our guidelines. You have Quakers that believe in the spirit of your light. And if internally,
the spirit of your light.
If your soul tells you something is wrong in the Bible, you're allowed to follow it if you're not a evangelical, because they say that's God talking to you. It's all convoluted. There's, like most religions.
I'll stick with the Quaker Oats.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Just if you're that curious, Google evangelical Quakers.
No, but and to your point, if you have any questions or anything that you want to let us know about, don't hesitate to shoot us a DM or email us. I mean, we give our email at the end of every show. We give our email address out, so you always got our email address. Just shoot us an email. It's racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. We have no problem answering questions.
And we're biased.
We really enjoy talking to our fans and listeners of the show.
If you have an air conditioning,
we greatly appreciate you when you reach out to us.
If you have a heating or air conditioning, we're more air conditioning oriented here in Georgia, or heat pump. But if you have a question with that, we're biased. We'll tell you to get a Goodman or Daikin.
Of course.
But
we have no problem reaching out to us. Just let us anything. Yeah. Anything. I mean, if you need advice,
Well, we had that one guy that we
don't mind. We're here. We're here.
Felt bad about it.
We're here for whatever your needs are. What's the what's the therapy thing you can do online?
Oh yeah, but
BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
We're not endorsed by BetterHelp.
We're endorsing them.
Nor are we therapists. But reach out to us and we'll give you our opinion. It's not medically licensed whatsoever. It's just our opinion. But yeah, so we have a tendency of pissing people off. I mean, we posted something last week, a short last week, and it really got some dude all hot and bothered. And he started, I think it was about the blue-haired soccer player, Rapidito.
Pinoino?
Yeah. So he got mad at me about my post about that, and he's like,
why?
It's her freedom of speech to say what she wants. I'm like,
correct, and it's your freedom of speech
it's my freedom of speech to say what I want. Like, you're screaming about freedom of speech. She can say whatever she wants. My only issue with her actually is she is a representative of the United States of America playing for the women's soccer team. She plays for the women's soccer team, the USA team.
So you kick a ball around and you're important now?
But think about it. If you're being paid,
I played kickball in 4th grade.
She's being paid to represent this country in our soccer team. Why is she hating on the country so much?
Oh, is that what she was saying?
Yeah, she's anti-American. She's the one she started the whole kneeling thing at the FIFA World Cup or the.
Well, why did she
during the Olympics? She took a knee.
I got an idea.
If you're not going to stand for the national anthem for the country you're representing in the Olympic Games, don't play in the Olympic Games for that country. Go play for North Korea or something.
I have a different take on that.
Pick a different team.
As an American, you have a right to get on your knee. I don't want to see it. I don't care.
I don't.
Because I love America.
Yes, you have that right. But when you're representing the country, that's my problem.
Like I said, I don't even want to hear about it.
Exactly. It shouldn't. You just. That flusters me, Jamie. That flusters me.
I don't care.
And that's my freedom of speech, people. I'm
going to give you my freedom of speech.
Give it to me.
I don't care if you're a rainbow warrior or whatever the hell you are. Trans, Dylan Mulvaney. Wasn't he a part of the kitchen cabinet for Donald Trump? Wasn't that a Mulvaney?
Ooh, was it?
Yeah. Is he a woman now?
I don't think it's the same guy.
Or is he in jail?
Hey, Charles Barkley said anybody who is anti-Bud Light and is against Dylan Mulvaney are just a bunch of redneck a-holes.
Well,
that's terrible. Terrible, I tell you.
I would stop drinking Bud Light if I drank it, but it tasted like shit from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I've been protesting Bud Light since I was underage, asking an adult to buy a 6-pack of beer for me. Hey, you want a Bud Light 6-pack? No, sir. It tastes like shit. Can you get me something else?
I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I saw on Twitter this morning, Miranda Lambert. She's a country singer.
Is she also?
No, she's not Bud
She didn't
Light.
play
Nothing
soccer?
Nothing to do with soccer or Bud Light.
I'm not into country.
Nothing to do with politics or anything.
Well, she married that dude that's on the Facebook
She
singing
married the
thing.
View dude. The guy from The View. The Voice. Not The View.
They're all country there, too.
The Voice.
Now he's marrying Sky Girl.
He was
Or
married.
did he marry her?
Blake Shelton was married to Miranda Lambert, and then he left. Nobody. I don't really know why. I think he cheated on her or something. I can't remember.
With that girl from
Yeah.
No Doubt.
No doubt. No doubt. That's who it was.
Man.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Well, anyway, she stopped a concert during the middle of a song to get on to two girls that were up front for taking a selfie. She said they need
Really?
to stop taking a selfie and pay attention to her music.
She stopped the song to say that?
Stopped the song to say it.
They were probably posting on Facebook what a great time they were having at her concert.
You
Isn't that
think?
kind of dumb?
And to be down front, you know they paid good money for those tickets. They paid at least $100 plus. Heck,
Yeah, because I've been on a stage doing a presentation with lights on you. You can't see the crowd unless they're the first couple rows.
yeah. So she sees this. She sees two fans taking a selfie, and instead of kneeling down like other country star or other
She's
musicians,
going to cancel herself.
That's what I said. I put on Twitter. I said I hope she enjoys the people taking selfies when she's playing to 30 people at the bar here in a few months.
I mean,
Like what? That's the dumb.
you got a couple of thousand followers. You post what a great time you're having at a concert. You shoot a little video, and you got uppity bitch strumming her guitar, and she stops and goes, I want you to stop taking selfies.
and listen to me. I mean, so Metallica wrote a song about it. Basically, it's called "Moth into the Flame," and they're talking about how people are stuck.
They knew in the future this was going to happen,
No, this was off one of their.
but they had to record it before she did it last night.
No, they're just saying people in general are attracted.
Okay.
Like a human is attracted to the light of the phone, like a moth.
I thought
to
maybe
the
they had a
flame.
Ouija board and knew this Miranda chick was going to do it in the
I mean,
future.
we are talking about Metallica. They some weird ones, but yeah, I don't know, man. To the Miranda Lambert thing, I think it was a huge mistake. It is all over social media this morning. I think it is the complete opposite of the type of attention you try to get when you're trying to build your career as a country music singer. But she saw what Garth Brooks did, and she's like, you know what? If he can tank his career, I can tank mine too. And she went all out. I as a fan of music, I would be highly pissed off.
Are you a fan of all music?
I like a lot of different styles of music, but if I went to a concert, so I went and saw Godsmack recently, and if I was at that Godsmack show and I took some pictures, I don't know if I necessarily took a selfie, but we took pictures. If Sully would have grabbed the microphone in the middle of a song and stopped it and singled me out,
Would you flip the bird?
I would leave.
I wonder if those girls left.
I would like,
Don't you think Taylor Swift would allow him to do it?
she would have probably grabbed the phone and took the selfie herself and handed the phone back. I've seen Eric Church do that in concert.
I don't get it.
Like, why belittle your fans? You are nothing without your fans.
So if she did this in Vegas, even the cheap seats aren't cheap
Correct.
because they pay people a lot of money to do stuff in Vegas.
At a minimum, they paid $100. But I'm thinking
Front row though?
I'm thinking probably $200 to $300 is what they paid. That would be my guess.
I'm thinking thousands.
Nah, not for Miranda Lambert.
Well, I don't even know who she is. So.
She's no
I knew she was married to that other dude.
She's no T Swift.
I know T Swift. I even know some of her songs.
I don't. I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan either. I've just heard them at Target loves T Swift.
I don't shop at Target.
Walmart loves T Swift.
Hey, SRX had their season opener.
Publix loves Taylor Swift.
Did you watch the SRX race?
I did. It was the best races in the last week.
I found myself pulling for Denny Hamlin at the very beginning of the night in the heat race. I think it's
Do you know he didn't practice?
no, but
He had a chance to learn the car, and
it's
he didn't
from
do it.
Actions Detrimental. From his podcast, I've become even more of a Denny Hamlin fan. I started liking him when I met him, and I liked him as a person.
Man, weren't you guys sharing a one-person urinal? No.
The Atlanta Trough.
I'm glad I saw him at the high tables out at the catering area.
He come in my porta john.
I
Was
got
that
real
Hawaiian rolls I smell?
I got really pee, Brad.
Brad, move, man. I got to play. I found myself pulling for Denny and Brad the whole night. Brad K. I mean, it was cool. Like, Denny Hamlin won his heat race. Ryan Newman won the second heat race.
I was kind of pulling for Ryan.
Where you at? See, Denny Hamlin winning the whole thing out. Denny showed massive talent. That, like you said, he didn't even practice in that car. First time in that car. And the racing throughout the whole field was phenomenal. Like, SRX knows how to race at short tracks. NASCAR has no clue how to race at short tracks. So it's night and day, people. It's like NBC and Fox night and day.
Well, I'm going to save it for the race. I'm just going to say this.
But they were beating and banging in the SRX race, man. I love it.
The Cup Series yesterday looked like if you're on the New Jersey Turnpike and there's only one toll booth open. Just a long line of cars trying to get to the same place.
Well, they had two groups.
Well, they had some cautions. They raced for a lap or two. Yeah. I saw 3 wide a couple times. Not often.
That was restarts.
Got excited and it was over for the next 100 laps.
Story of your life. You get excited.
I did Google that crayon. I thought it was like Crayola crayon.
No, I did too.
It's an internet company.
It's a cloud service, yeah. I figured that out last year. They've done that. They spin the crayon.
They must be headquartered Boston or New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, probably. Also, Eldora Million was this weekend. It was a 2-night event. Dude, this is on my bucket list now. I've now added Eldora sprint cars. Add Eldora to my bucket list.
Could we do both? We could wipe out both.
Well, actually, this weekend would have been perfect because it was literally racing Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night at Eldora.
Except it's the middle of summer.
And the Kings Royale Saturday. I mean, it's phenomenal racing this weekend at Eldora. But Kyle Larson took a massive hit at Eldora during the Eldora Million, took him out of contention early. And then Logan Schuchart dominated the race for the most part and won the 50-lap shootout and the $1 million. So congratulations to Logan. I really think it's cool that Logan won it too. And it's cool to watch Kyle Larson race in a sprint car, but Brad Sweet, dude, is phenomenal in a sprint car, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So I was glad to see Logan win it. This will really help, set his career off. So, this is going to be good racing, man. You really need to get flow racing so you can watch some sprint cars. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Well, unfortunately, racing's in the summer, and so is air conditioning.
Yeah, but they race on Saturday night. And everything on flow racing you can watch on replay. You don't have to watch anything live. Everything's recorded, and you can watch it on replay. I guess I probably should have mentioned that to you. Because I guess it doesn't make sense to pay for a service if you can't be available to watch the races Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night.
Well, I think I pay for Peacock, Paramount, and Disney Plus.
I ain't paying for Paramount.
And I don't watch any of them. I don't watch any of them.
I refuse to pay
probably
for Peacock.
cover. Why? Because it's got cock in its name?
Yeah.
MP?
It's the P that bothers me.
Well.
Anyway. We went to dinner with some friends on Saturday night, or over at a friend's house, and my buddy, he made a comment. He said, "Don't be a major league shit talker and a minor league shit taker." And I really thought
were you talking some shit and he called you minor league?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we were talking about how a lot of people can dish it, but they can't take it.
Oh, you mean like those haters on Twitter?
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
What is Mike Joy?
It made me think about some of our listeners.
I think Mike Joy should run for president.
I mean, they're about the same age, I guess.
Yeah, about the same mentality as
Mike Joy ain't that bad, man. Come on.
He's getting there.
He ain't
what he calls them? Keyboard warriors?
Keyboard warriors, that's right. All right, so New Hampshire. This race was with the new and improved tire compound that was going to fix all problems at short track
Why
races.
did I see him taking 2 then?
Dude, this track was it's got to be the shifting.
The car.
It is the car.
The shifting.
I'm tired of hearing people say it can't be the car. It's not.
Give him
the
an
car,
automatic.
the car.
Give him boost. Give him 120 seconds of boost so they can pass.
I'd have been mad if I'd have taken a vacation day yesterday to watch that race.
I'd like to go to New Hampshire to see a race, but not until they fix the car.
It looked very similar.
I've never been to New Hampshire.
It looked very similar to Richmond, Martinsville, North Wilkesboro, Phoenix. Like these are iconic races. Martinsville, Wilkesboro, Phoenix is our championship race. And to know we're taking our worst possible product we have to our championship race,
you know what
should bother more than just me and you.
What sucks is the amazing race at Atlanta. It's like a miniature super speedway. Why can't that be applied to Daytona and Talladega?
Yeah.
What happens at those two tracks? Why is Atlanta now better?
I think it's because Atlanta's better because it's smaller. So it's just, Talladega, you got a whole nother mile to go. So, at Talladega, you can pull your earphone off and talk during a lap. At Atlanta, you don't have time to talk even. Like, as soon as they go by, they're coming back.
Don't you think if they had, like, Indy button,
I just think
would that make it interesting? They'd have to save the boost. They'd have to manage that boost.
I don't know. I think they could easily change the gear ratios in these cars where they're not shifting.
Why not just give them an automatic?
If a driver makes a mistake now, he doesn't pay for it. He just shifts, drops a gear, and goes. I mean, it's so easy to save it now.
Give him PDK shifting.
I
Give
think
a paddle under the steering wheel.
Look, we all love Chicago. Not all of us. A lot of people hated Chicago, I guess.
Why?
Just because they're purists.
They want to catch up on their
I'm
wiener?
really... This 500-mile debate that we keep having, when we have races like New Hampshire...
300, man.
It's hard for me to want a 500-mile race. New Hampshire was a quick and easy race. I thought the race sucked, personally. It was not my favorite race. The restarts were fairly entertaining for, 3-4 laps?
Yep.
Every once in a while, there was two line. They would run. I mean, there was basically a low line and a high line, but
I got real excited.
You didn't see them race.
I got real excited when Blaney ran over the air hose.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
like, oh, cool, something happened.
What if you think like at dirt tracks, they run heat races, a B main, and then an A main. Do you think we could implement something like that to make it more interesting? I mean, you get 4 or 5 hours of racing when they run these events at a short track. So I think we could run, basically run 4 heat races.
I got an opinion on that. I think Marcus Smith, if he was head of NASCAR, we'd be trying these things.
I agree.
I think Ben Kennedy, with that lollipop he's got up his butt, he needs to pull it out.
He's not going to shake it up like that.
Well,
I don't think.
He already does corporate speak.
That's what I'm getting at. So, Xfinity race. Honestly, I didn't think the Xfinity race was that great either. I thought it was pretty drawn. I thought it was pretty drawn out. John Hunter won again. I mean,
and we're going to the Triangle, which hasn't produced good racing in years.
Here's a question. So the race was delayed Sunday. I got up Sunday morning before church, pulled up Twitter, and at 6 a.m., Bob Pockris was already talking about, maybe it went 6, maybe it was 7, 8 o'clock, something like that, early Sunday. Bob was talking about they're probably going to postpone the race. We're not going to have a window. Now, I don't think they had a window. From what I could see on Twitter, it looked like it rained all day and all night at New Hampshire. But
why not run it in the rain? You got windshield wipers and rain tires.
Should we even attempt to race at NASCAR tracks that do not have lights? All right, so don't forget, sometimes crap, it does happen. And sometimes you need a plumber to fix it. In that case, we would call Danny Carden Plumbing, the official plumber of the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. The guys you call when crap happens.
No.
We're going to start races later in the day because TV likes it. So because of TV, we're starting at 3 o'clock. If you have a 2-hour weather delay, you can't finish the event because of darkness.
There's only a few tracks without lights.
Yeah, you got Talladega, New Hampshire, Pocono, Dover, and Michigan. Pocono, Michigan, and Talladega. We should start those races at 11. I mean, that gives you time for weather delays. But Talladega, I don't see an excuse for not having lights. Atlanta,
it is a giant track, though.
Daytona has lights.
You think it's going to cost $20 million to light up Talladega?
With a $4 billion TV contract. You don't think they can afford to put lights on around Talladega?
Well, as I've said from the beginning, I think the Frances are milking it.
I'm just saying.
I mean, look.
I think Talladega can take their proceeds from one event and light that place up. Marcus
Smith is spending the money to put dirt on Bristol. Don't agree with it, but guess what? It's innovative, right?
Yeah.
He spent the money. He doubled the capacity at North Wilkesboro. That's a risk on his part.
And sold it out.
The Roval. I think his daddy came up with that.
I don't know.
But risk. But he's getting rewarded for the risk. Well, look at Atlanta. He did Atlanta.
Well,
made it a baby super speedway.
So Dover's a small track. That should be easy.
And wasn't Marcus on that one?
I feel like Dover was just acquired by SMI or NASCAR One.
One of them got it. That's how they ended up with Nashville.
Pocono's privately owned.
By Dr. Doolittle.
So,
I mean,
I still think Pocono's a 2.5 mile track too. I don't know, man. I think if you're going to have a race on the NASCAR schedule, you should have lights at your track. I just don't. And I definitely do not think you should be allowed to have a track without lights host a playoff event.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're affecting the playoffs if you have to end the race early. Could you imagine having to end the playoff cut race early like they did at Chicago and be like, all right, 25 laps to go, people?
Sure made it more watchable.
No. I don't like their move at Chicago. I think they should have said, we're going to race to this time, period. If that's 20 laps to go or 100 laps to go, we're going to do it.
Well, here's a question. The Atlanta race, do you think that was the perfect length? I do. Now,
I think the Atlanta race could have been a tad longer. I'm a fan
So you got to 300 laps.
I'm a fan of 300 miles or 300 laps. And I like the stage breaks. I don't know. My attention span, I think, is probably getting shorter. And, yesterday's race, Martin Truex won it. And congrats to Truex. But when he wins,
he dominates.
And it's...
it just on qualifying. He's going to win.
It's a boring race usually when Truex wins. I mean, he will stink up a show like nobody's business. And that's not a dig at Martin whatsoever.
He's a great driver. Hall of Famer.
Easily. I mean, Dale Jr. made the comment that Martin Truex is having a championship-style year, and I kind of thought Dale was crazy.
But he also says he's even boring when he texts.
Well, he said this was last week. Then Truex goes out this week and dominates. And he's dominated Dover on a Monday, dominated New Hampshire on a Monday. He won at Sonoma, and, I mean, Martin Truex is a heck of a road course driver. He could be a championship favorite.
Well, there you go. Sonoma, another place the new car was great at. And we're closing it down.
We're getting rid of Sonoma?
Didn't we sell? Oh, yeah.
When that happened?
We're putting up a Target and some Amazon warehouses.
I thought that was Fontana.
No. Hunter sent me a... Hunter stalking us.
This is part of the Hunter Biden...
Hunter Biden told me.
Hunter Biden
Don't you think his dad mentioned it? Because...
He also won... Truex also won the Coliseum we went to.
Hunter mistakenly got the wrong Pharaoh. Yeah, and he thought I was going to funnel some Chinese money.
That ain't happened, is it?
And I said, no, this is the NASCAR Pharaoh. And he said, what? I said, yeah, we're the ones that started that Pharaoh Bush team and went bankrupt because we...
And that's a true story.
Yeah. Well, actually, here's a...
Yeah, we got the... The media guide.
The media guide.
As you're knocking stuff down on.
This is how you turn 12 million into 1 million.
You buy a NASCAR team.
Yeah. The company they own that funded the racing's gone now, too.
Do you think Martin Truex retires after the end of this season?
Not if he wins a championship.
I think if he wins a championship, he definitely retires.
Well, I would.
I would, too. That would be awesome, actually.
Going out on top.
Yep. He said he would love to do that. He also said he's going to have to make a decision pretty soon because he's got to let the team know and the sponsors know so they can figure all that good stuff out.
Did you know that Kevin Harvick's wife is his ex-girlfriend's sister?
No.
Neither did I.
Delena's...
I didn't know that either.
Sherry Pollock's sister?
I didn't know that. Really?
Are you sure?
Really? Where'd you hear that at?
You just told me.
Me? What?
Is that true, or are you making this up?
I'm just totally making stuff
Okay,
up.
I was like, what? I didn't know that.
I'm fake news, man.
Fake news today.
Fake news.
All right, Hunter. Chase Elliott, does he make the playoffs? He is currently 60 points out.
I'm close to saying no.
He earned 0 stage. You know, Michael McDowell earned more stage points yesterday than Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott earned 0.
What tracks are left before the playoffs? He's going to have to win in.
He's definitely in a must-win situation.
What tracks we got?
You got Pocono, Richmond, Michigan, Indy Road Course, Watkins Glen, and Daytona.
I think he could win Pocono.
He won Pocono last year.
Yeah.
I think he could win Pocono.
Daytona.
He could definitely win Daytona, Indy, or
Watkins Glen. He could do any one of those.
I think he is in a must-win situation now.
Did you know?
I don't think he can point his way in now. I think his opportunity to point his way in is now completely over.
Well, he hasn't performed to point in, to be honest.
Well, he's had 11 top 15s, 7 top 10s, 5 top 5s out of 13 races. So out of 13 races, he's only finished outside of the top 15 twice.
So
I don't know.
What in his life do you think has got it where his head's not in the game? His girlfriend?
I think the fact that he is actually performing. If he had 20 races like everybody else versus 13 races,
he'd be in the top 16.
He would be solidly locked into the top 16. But missing those races, 6 races for an injury, 1 race for a temper tantrum, missing those races definitely has hurt him. Missing those races, going snowboarding, having a temper tantrum has put Chase Elliott in a must-win situation to make the playoffs, or he's not going to make it. And your most popular driver not being in your playoffs, I don't think it'll necessarily kill viewership, but it ain't going to help it.
He could win some without being in the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. NASCAR is already Twitter marketing the Michigan race, and it's Chase Elliott's car.
Well,
everything NASCAR does is Chase Elliott. How do you promote the NASCAR 2023 playoffs without Chase Elliott?
I'm a homer.
Is that what they're going to say every week?
I've grown bored with his game.
Definitely bored with his game because he looks bored with it.
He's got no personality.
He acts like he's given up.
He does.
Michael McDowell, he's currently in 16th. Bubba Wallace is currently in 15th.
So let me pose a question. Who's going to win a race first, McDowell or Chase?
Chase. I think Chase is in better. I don't
think McDowell's got the equipment.
I think McDowell's
got the skills.
He's taking top 20 equipment and running top 15, top 10. He's running top 10, finishing 10. He's finishing between 12th and 15th, 10th and 15th.
So if he ends up in the 10 car,
I just hope Stuart Haas has it together.
They're falling apart, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So I would like to see McDowell get a chance in a competitive car.
But is SHR a competitive car?
Exactly. So,
Harvick's in the top 5 constantly, but none of his teammates are anywhere near.
No, not at all. And they're not bad drivers. I mean, Briscoe is not a bad driver. Preece is not a bad driver. Eric Almirola, he's not a bad driver.
Well,
but
looked like he could have won yesterday until they forgot to put the lug on his tire.
We're 2 years in. Why are you still losing lug nuts?
Because they're eating Chinese chicken.
Honestly.
Isn't that Smithfield? Yeah, they're owned by the China.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's 100%.
China conglomerates.
100% China.
The Communist Party.
I think that's what, Eric Almirola, does he retire at the end of the season?
He got that China money. He can retire.
Does it matter, though?
We're not going to miss him. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I don't want to be a total dick, but we're not going to miss him.
Yeah, he doesn't bring anything to the table.
And a sponsor. That's what he brings to the table.
He's not taking anything away. He's like, I don't even know. He's like just throwing a piece of sliced bread on a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
Just plain up.
Wonder bread. Yep. Flat out Wonder bread.
Yeah, you'll eat it, and it ain't bad bread, but
it ain't sustainable.
It doesn't go with the rest of the meal. That's all I'm saying. So, but I would hate to see McDowell get into that 10 car where the 10 car currently is on performance.
Oh, I think his car is probably better than SHR right now. For some reason,
Close, but I think
I see RFK.
I want to see
on
McDowell.
The upswing, and I see SHR on the downswing.
Agreed. I want to see McDowell in a good car.
So what if things are so bad as SHR, they got to sell one of their teams?
Which one goes?
Yeah, and then who's going to buy it? RFK? They used to have 3 or 4 teams. Remember? I think in their heyday?
I don't think RFK buys another one until they win a few races.
I saw on Sirius that Dale basically said there's no movement in him getting a cup team. He'd rather partner, is what he said.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him say partner. So I did also, but he didn't say he didn't want to do it anymore either. So he's still.
So does he buy into SHR and bring him back to Chevy?
He would have to buy in, but you'd think Chevrolet has Hendrick, Chevrolet has Trackhouse, and has RCR. Those powerhouses are going to get everything. Do you bring another 4-car organization over and think they're going to get the A treatment?
Thinking completely fiscally, the best bet would be to go to Toyota. They got deeper pockets.
Exactly.
And you could be their third great team.
Well, I mean, you already got Jimmy going to Toyota.
Boy, the way those boys have been racing the 42 and 43.
The 42 has had Noah's had horrible.
He's bumper car. Do they not connect his steering wheel?
Well, he only bumps the wall. Eric Jones, that dude literally goes out every week, and it's like they got a quota. It's like he's got a 0 on the dash, and his car's going to blow up. And when he hits the driver, he gets another minute added to his time.
Do they blindfold him? What's going on with that dude? He wasn't that bad last year.
Wreck-'em Ralph. I mean, it's 2 weekends in a row. He just plowed his way through. Like, I think it's the fact that his team sucks.
Do they give him
for his career?
Do they give him like a shot of vodka every time he pits?
Maybe.
You're drunk by the
Red Bull.
Yeah.
It gives him wings.
Woo!
He runs into everything. Hey, Bubba Wallace is 15th in points. 20 races in, he's had 10 top 15s, 6 top 10s, and 4 top 5s.
He's quietly doing it.
Bubba needs a win.
He does need a win.
He's in on points, but he needs a win.
You know what else I think he needs? Isn't Kyle Busch's wife a sports psychologist or psychiatrist?
Something like that.
So what he needs to do is have some consultations
with her.
With her. She's at the track all the time. He needs to get his head straight because I have a feeling Bubba has fear of failure, and that's preventing him from being successful.
I agree. I think he's
got snakes in his head.
Yeah, he's way in his head too many times.
He needs to talk it out.
He spends way too much time in his head.
You know who else I think has that problem?
Bubba can reach out to us.
Sorass.
Sorass has
snakes in his head too.
I don't know. I don't really know what his problem is. It's almost like he's too good. It's almost like I feel like he has this F1 arrogance about him, and he looks at the rest of us NASCAR fans kind of like Charles Barkley does and turns his nose up like, ugh.
As I've always said, it's the Irish, the Scottish, and the Australians that are our closest cousins, and the Canadians. But they're weird because they like maple syrup on their bacon. Hey, when you go up to visit your in-laws, do they put maple syrup on everything? They're just across the lake from Canada.
I mean, I feel like we had syrup with our pancakes.
They say,
g'day, mate. It's not Canadian.
Do they say oi? Like
mate is not Canadian.
Yeah, that's what I love about the. I know this dude from Ireland.
Yeah.
When he wants your attention, instead of saying "Hey" or calling your name, he goes "Oi,
oi,
oi,
oi, you wanker."
I love the oi.
Oi! Once you start saying
oi,
can you say it regularly, or do you always have to scream it?
He always seems to be. It seems to be his attention getter.
Oi doesn't sound as good as oi.
If you're real good in America, I can't whistle, but you put your 2 fingers in there and you go woo. The oi is that.
Oi.
Oi.
Chips ahoy. Like that.
Maybe we should. You think we could transfer over to Goodman Dyke in Australia?
Australia.
Hang out for a while?
It'd take a while to get used to the time change, probably.
Could we do a Super V8 podcast for the Australians being Americans?
We might have to if this racing doesn't improve.
Yeah, they keep doing this crap.
You think Daniel Suarez makes playoff? He's 17th on the outside looking in.
I think you can flip a coin.
Yeah, but I think it's probably more like Two-Face's coin. It's got two sides.
I think his teammate has a better chance of winning again than Suarez.
I agree. Trackhouse is either hot or cold, though. I mean, yesterday they were turned off, but so was Chevy. I thought Chevy was pretty cold because RCR struggled. Kyle Busch.
But hasn't Toyota been winning the weird tracks?
I think Kyle Busch hit a car in the parking lot leaving the track yesterday, and his airplane probably hit another airplane at the airport arriving.
I totally agree with that.
I
don't know
everything. He literally hit everything except the lottery.
Do you think maybe he did too much of that vape pen?
I think he needs to be on the vape pen now to just.
Think that improve his driving?
No, maybe. I don't know. I am 28.3% sure it would not improve his driving, but I'm 48.3% sure it would.
What about if Hunter gave him some cocaine?
He'd be faster.
Well, that's what he needs, right?
Alex Bowman gets into a crash with Ty Gibbs and Eric Jones. I feel like Eric Jones started this crash, but whatever. Everybody else can say Gibbs or whoever they want. Alex Bowman was dang near spun all the way around. Colleague Racing tweeted something about Alex Bowman being involved in the wreck and still getting put back in front of AJ Allmendinger.
Little Dingleberry in the 16 car needs to go back to Xfinity. Just saying.
I don't know if I'm ready to throw him back, but I do think it's something is weird there because if you're involved in the wreck, the rule is you blend back in and that's where you start the race back at. It's not you get your position back, but after Chicago's pile up where William Byron basically blocked the whole track and got his position back, NASCAR does it again with the 48. Is that Hendrick's favoritism being shown or just NASCAR getting sloppy and lazy?
I think it's a little both. Papa Hendricks rules the roost, man. He's like second in command after Ben Kennedy.
And it's almost getting laughably obvious. And I'm a Hendrick fan. I mean, I like Jeff. I like Dale.
Hey, I like
Chase,
their 4 current drivers.
William. I mean,
I like Bowman. Byron.
I think Byron is probably.
I think Bowman's on his way out.
I do too.
He's going to a lower tier team after this.
I don't get that either because Bowman's probably. I think Bowman is extremely talented.
Do they not share notes with each team?
I think Bowman has more raw talent than Chase Elliott.
What about Byron? Does he got more than Byron? Byron's winning.
I think Byron and Larson have the most talent on the team.
I only wish those two had more personality.
I don't think we have a driver out of 38 other than B.J. McLeod that really has a personality anymore.
When Harvick's
Harvick has a
it.
personality.
He's dampered it though.
But he's leaving. Well,
Hamlin does. But he's been quiet this year. Have you noticed that?
No, he's actually. I feel like he said a lot this year with the
on his podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the track, after track interviews,
he's being quiet at the track because he's saving all the good stuff for the podcast.
That's probably true.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, we save crap all week just for content.
Yeah, I think that Denny has definitely got a personality. I think Noah Gragson has a huge personality, but until you have the victories to go along with said personality, it ain't going to matter. I think Hendricks doesn't have a personality on the team. I think Truex, for as boring as he is, he has this boring personality, which I guess that's not really saying much.
You know what I want to do?
What do you want to do?
My new segment.
What's your new segment?
We have a listener and a subscriber who is also a coworker of ours.
Yeah.
We won't give his last name because we got that stalker. But Lance, he's gone over and above since we got this heat wave, and I appreciate it. I know he's helped you out too.
Thank you, Lance.
We appreciate it, Lance. Keep up the good work.
What else?
Keep having our back, and we'll have yours.
Always. Yep. Always got your back. What? Christopher Bell. He's another one. We talk about Ryan Blaney's pit crew pissing the bed. Christopher Bell's pit crew pissed the bed too, because he had a very strong car, and because they crapped the bed twice, he got sent back spots because they crapped the bed. that second time, trying to get the spots back that he had already made up once, that he had already earned during qualifying, trying to make those spots back up, his pit crew cost him. He ended up overdoing it, wrecking, getting into the wall, ending his day.
What do you think's the deal with him?
I don't know.
Is it his crew chief?
It's got to be.
Or does his team suck?
I don't know. I mean, he's got Adam Stevens as his crew chief, so
is Adam Stevens getting a little long in the tooth like our 2 presidential candidates coming up in 2024?
No, but you see this periodically with bigger organizations.
What's going on with Hamlin? He's not.
That's what I'm saying.
As good as he used to be.
It comes in waves with these big organizations. You very rarely do you see 2, 3, 4 cars. It's very rare to see all 4 of them dominate. You know what I mean?
Dang, that's some thick paper, dude. What are you using? Printing stuff on cardstock?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just to annoy you.
Wow.
You do buy the thin paper. We got the Costco paper.
You know
No, this is the Amazon paper.
I'm thrifty. That's like the best way we could put it, couldn't it? I'm thrifty.
I buy my paper from Amazon, so I print stuff.
I think I do.
I print a ton of stuff for work, so I just buy my paper through Amazon. I get this huge packet, like 400,000 sheets or something.
Wow.
Jeff Gluck poll: 66% currently say yes, and 34% say no. It's not a good race.
Well, that's higher than I thought.
I was extremely surprised. So I told Jamie last night when I was putting these notes together that I went back and kind of rewatched the race on fast forward mode. I really feel like NBC, PRN, the drivers, and the track had an off day.
No, I felt like NBC was kind of foxing it.
Yeah, I did too. Like you could just tell they were.
I think it was that extra day there.
I do. I think they were ready. They were ready to go Sunday. But you spend the whole day in the rain. I think it just had. I think it had to be because the camera angles. They missed the whole McDowell and Priest deal on track where McDowell.
That works for me.
Where McDowell
Isn't McDowell an Air Force base in Texas? Maybe. I think so.
McDowell wrecked. I mean, he basically right hooked Priest. I don't know what the whole deal was. Priest goes up after the race and pushes McDowell.
I was kind of hoping for a little more than that. But.
And then USA forgets to show the actual wreck or Priest pushing McDowell. Thankfully, we have fans who recorded it on Twitter and posted it. But they did show McDowell chasing Priest down and giving him a hug and telling him he loved him and I'm sorry. And hopefully it won't ever happen again, Priest. And you'll be able to go out and win races now because I've apologized to you. So, Priest,
you think you're the reason he sucks?
I do. I think it's McDowell's fault.
I think maybe
so 20 races.
You might need some better health too, Brad, or Priest.
20 races later, Priest has realized his issues. McDowell realized he's Priest's issue. So now they've made up. Issue solved. Priest is going to win next weekend.
Did their parents make them hold hands on the back of the car?
I'm thinking you should definitely pick Priest in your fantasy lineup because.
How bad did I do?
No, I need you to pick him next week. You kicked my butt in fantasy this week.
Wow. Jeez.
You beat me by 20 points.
Wow, I picked 3 in a row. It's
never happened.
1, 2, 3.
It's never happened, dude. You picked 5, 6,
I mean,
7.
they weren't the winners either, but.
No, but you picked 5th, 6th, and 7th. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Wow.
I think that's the best score of the year so far. I don't know that. I have to go back and look, but it's a pretty good score. So,
jeez.
Jamie, we're not going to Long Pond, Pennsylvania. But if we were, where would we not want to stay at, mate?
One's of them. Oh, yeah.
I'm using my Canadian voice.
I'm going to just say it.
My Canadian voice. I would not want to stay in these hotels that you have provided us.
Jamie. Oi!
Oi, mate.
Oi!
I'm Canadian.
Let's not stay at the Oyo.
And Ukrainian.
Or the Parkview Inn. We're not supposed to mention those anymore.
I was going to say I meant to say UKN, but it came out Ukrainian. Right. I mean British.
Well, I didn't say the whole thing. That's only part of the names.
Yeah, this is the Inn and Conference Center in
Allentown,
Pennsylvania,
which is like an hour south of Long Pond.
Yeah, we can't say their official name.
It's actually the town we'd probably stay in if we ever went, if they figured out this car.
Probably. We'll see how it goes this weekend.
So this guy says, he gave it a 1 out of 5. My family booked several rooms at this hotel for a wedding we were attending in town. I was the first to arrive. As I pulled in, I realized this was not the pictures on the website. That seems to be quite a big deal on crappy hotels.
Yes.
They go to the Hilton and take pictures.
Dude,
Call it the yo-yo.
And I was reading about I was reading some hotel reviews as well. And I noticed that one of the major complaints is like these pictures do not even remotely match.
I think they spiffy up one room and take pictures.
I think Wyndham should hire us to make sure the photos of their franchisee members are updated.
We could do a spot
and accurate.
inspection and go, all right, show us the room and the pictures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wyndham, we
Well,
are.
we're available for $5 million apiece.
I would
$5 million.
Honestly, I would do it for $5 million as a team.
You do it for 2.5?
Yeah.
Man, after taxes, that's gonna be like $1.2 million.
I could do it. I think I could do that.
I don't know if I could budget like that.
$1.2 million a year.
I don't know.
Right.
Is that with is that with an expense account and a company car?
You can struggle with figuring out how to make $1.2 million last you a year, and I know I could do it without a shadow of a doubt. I know I could do it,
dude. I would start shaking. It would have to be the middle of the year.
You don't have to use all the money, dude.
No, I'm just saying.
You can put it in
savings.
savings.
I'm talking about shaking, leaving air conditioning, except for this time of the year. The offer.
Who said leave air conditioner? We can do this on the weekend, man.
They'd have to. Would they let us fly first class, Brad? Have you talked to Wyndham or Oyo?
I would fly coach. They got a private jet. I'm sure we can use it to help.
Dude. Middle management.
Wyndham probably don't have a private jet either. It's probably like a charter
moped.
bus. It's a bus.
It's
a double decker.
It's that prepay scooter is what they get around at. Well, that's Oyo.
Swipe your card scooter.
They probably let you do Uber economy. Right. Well, anyway, he booked this room. And they weren't the pictures on the website. It was dirty and old. I checked in around 1815. So that means he is a military person?
Yeah.
Which would be 6:15.
I have to do the math.
PM.
Messes me up.
And went to room 517. As soon as I walked in, you could tell the room was old and dirty. It sounds like you recognize that when you pull up in the parking lot. But the room was a non-smoking room, but a strong smell of smoke. Well, you know, we've discovered this just in our travels, that if you're next to a smoking room, even if they've never smoked in your room, it's going to smell like smoke.
So I have another theory on top of that. What if they're just a
Under
smoker? They smoke outside.
Smokers stink.
They don't finish their cigarette, so they just break the end off.
Ew, gross.
And then bring a half a cigarette. A half a cigarette smells worse than a unsmoked cigarette.
Not being a smoker, I mean, it's like $10 a pack, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not a smoker either, but I just know I had a family member who smoked, and they had stayed in the camper, one of my campers, for a while. And they wouldn't smoke in the camper, but they would take their half-smoked cigarette and put it back in the pack and take that into the camper, and the whole camper ended up smelling like cigarette.
Why don't you tell them to leave it under the gazebo?
Well, I didn't know it was. I don't think.
Oh, you didn't know that's what was happening?
Yeah, and I don't think, as a smoker, they didn't realize it because they don't smell it like non-smokers do. So, you know, I mean, it was once it was realized what was causing the smell, it was not happening no more. It don't happen no more. It's fixy.
Well, Brad, I'm going to call this guy Brad.
All right.
Brad went back to the front desk, and they switched him to another room. They gave me a key to 501. I did not look closely at the room then because we chose to eat first. When I got back to the room, I noticed that the bathroom looked like it had never been cleaned.
Huh.
There was a black man on the toilet. Well, hold it. That's a little startling there. I don't care what race they are.
This bathroom hasn't been cleaned.
Dude,
there's a person taking a crap in here. Y'all forgot to clean it. You left the man pooping in here.
I don't think he's being racist. I think he's just being descriptive.
I do too.
But any man on the toilet when it's my room is going to be startling. Wow. and a ring in the bathtub. So he went in while the guy
He's
was
getting divorced.
The dude was dropping a deuce, and he went and inspected the tub while the guy was taking a deuce.
Not here to bother you, sir.
Sorry, but there's a ring on the toilet too.
How is that not the worst part of this review? This review should have started. Hotel nasty, found man pooping when entering room.
Well, I'm going to say the dude on the toilet was honest because I already read this. Duh. But he nowhere says his stuff was stolen. It's an honest guy taking an honest dump.
Honestly, he just had to poop.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't tell us the guy left the deuce in the toilet.
Well, then he goes on to talk about homeless people. So maybe it's like our LA experience where the homeless guy, where the night clerk lady made us sleep on the couch for an hour while the homeless man pooped and showered.
Yeah, he says there were homeless people lurking in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I pulled the sheets back, and there was dirt and trash in the bed.
Was the guy still pooping when he crawled in bed? Like, I just want to know what happened to the dude pooping. Well, he doesn't give any more explanation or description of the phantom pooper.
I've been to Allentown many times.
I mean, the phantom pooper here, you would think.
There's Quaker Pharaohs in Allentown, and my grandfather went to Lehigh University.
So you think the pooper is a Quaker?
Yeah, we have black Quakers.
What, they break into hotels to do-do?
I have a feeling, because he doesn't say he broke in, that they double made the key.
But then he went and checked the bed, dude.
Well, they made the bed with trash in it.
He said there was a black man on the toilet when I came in the room. I pulled the sheets back, and there was dirt and trash in the bed.
They just didn't clean the sheets and remade it. At this point, I contacted a different hotel and packed up. I checked out, and the employee at the front desk was very nice and stated this happens all the time, which is discerning.
He's always pooping. He's a serial pooper. He runs around pooping in people's room.
If you're going to stay here, he might have been an employee.
They know this dude is a serial pooper that poops in their hotel, and they do nothing about it.
There's a dude pooping in my room. Yeah, this happens all the time. That's our maintenance guy. That's our manager. That's our general manager.
That's our welcoming committee.
That's our regional vice president. He likes to test the toilets and take dumps in them.
That's our district manager. He's here to poop in your toilet.
He has Crohn's. I've realized there's an ad for a drug, right? I didn't know it was a pooping disease. But there's an ad for this drug that helps with Crohn's.
Yeah. Is that the bicycle riders or the canoers?
No, it's the lady with a toilet in her car, and then she's sitting at the desk on her toilet.
We reviewed those toilets. They don't sit flat, so they splash back.
Yeah.
But I guess if you have Peyronie's disease, you need to get your...
Is Peyronie's a pooping disease too?
I don't know. Isn't that what you said?
Crohn's.
Peyronie, they advertise Peyronie's during the race too. No, Peyronie's is the bent wiener.
Like... Yeah, that's right. The backwards.
When you've got the
upside down banana.
You take the Peroni. You need the Peroni to straighten out your pepperoni.
You know, I don't watch porn, but do you think that's a subgenre? The Peyronie's disease?
I don't know.
Would you have to... I mean, this is episode 69. Wouldn't that be kind of hard to 69?
I mean, if it was some kind of porn,
we're mature. Yeah. We're rated M for mature, but...
We're always rated M for mature. I saw somebody
It is episode 69.
This episode 69.
It is.
No, I saw somebody on Twitter say they quit listening to Door Bumper Clear because they kept making dick jokes.
I hope they
don't listen to us.
That's not really a joke.
No, I didn't.
If your dick bends the wrong way, that's not something to laugh about.
No,
I mean, I'm going to laugh at it, but you probably shouldn't tell me.
If your upper's bending to the right, then... You got the PD, the Peyronie disease.
But you know, if it's a banana, you could just turn it around. You can't do that with your wiener.
Oh, I'm thinking, how do you turn a wiener around?
I wasn't using it as a metaphor. I was just saying.
But if you turned it, if it was pointing right and you turned it around, wouldn't it be pointing left?
Didn't you had something where the guy broke his wiener 4 different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
I thought that was a hotel review.
Was it? It might have been.
Where the dude said he was...
But that chick that got revenge with the wellness check kind of erased those backward wiener things.
Yeah.
She was badass without being nasty.
She
got revenge.
I still think.
Wellness check, folks.
Wellness check. If you have a stalker, you should probably call a wellness check on him.
And that dude was so pissed off, he made everything she said true.
Yes.
So that was just awesome.
I know, man. That was my favorite.
She's my hero for complaining.
She's number 3. She comes right behind the Asian man jumping out of the cabinet in the windowless room, and
Moon Eye.
Moon Eye will always be number 1.
Well, back to this dude. He says pack a gun if you stay here.
Definitely.
You'll need it. Later, I looked on the Megan law website. And there's a sex offender listed with this address as a permanent address. Oh, boy. The shipping container I lived in while in Iraq was nicer than this hotel. Do not stay here. Well, we knew that with your military time, dude.
Yep. I didn't know you were in Iraq. Thank you for your service, sir. We greatly appreciate it. Sorry you had to deal with the guy taking a poop in your room 501.
He doesn't seem that startled, though. But anyway.
Well, I mean, dude, this guy survived Iraq. You think a dude taking a dump in room 501 is going to startle him? I'm sure he had his pistol on his side. He probably opened the bathroom door, and there's a dude sitting there dropping a deuce. He probably hand on his pistol. He's like, "Whoa, there's a ring in that bathtub. Have you noticed?"
Or he's used to the base.
Did you know there's garbage under the sheets out here?
It does tell us the dude did not lock the bathroom door.
Exactly. He pulled a Brad Keselowski.
Well, he says to add insult to injury, that night at the bachelor party, the groom got caught sleeping with his best man. Okay. Whoa. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say.
You had a dude pooping in your toilet.
Maybe he plays soccer.
And then your best man and the groom are playing swords, basically.
Well, he doesn't reveal to the very last couple of sentences. My sister left them standing in the chapel. So I think it was her wedding.
Did they get married when she left, though?
Who?
The best man and the groom.
Well, I would think so.
Like, at that point, you
but my question also is,
swing him on over.
Did she not know he was bi?
Or gay? I don't know. Maybe she did.
Well, isn't he bi if he's going to marry her?
Maybe it was a cover.
I don't know the definitions, dude. We tried that.
We tried. It didn't work out.
But anyway.
That left us more confused than the...
But then he kind of backtracked. He says, first, she left him standing in the chapel. I don't blame her.
World.
I don't blame her.
I don't either.
I know we live in a new world, but regardless of what you believe and what is acceptable, cheating is still cheating. He's right.
It is.
He is.
I'm glad he's going to support his sister.
She gets my full support.
I'm glad he supports his sister.
You know, having been in Iraq, we don't know what branch she was in. I'm surprised he didn't kick the guy's ass. Even if she was marrying a chick.
No doubt.
Well, you're not supposed to hit a chick. Can you hit a lesbian chick? If they're mannish?
No.
I don't know the rules.
I don't either.
I haven't been in a fight since high school, so I don't know.
I can still carry. I'm too old to fight.
Yeah.
Concealed
carry. It's allowed in Georgia. Why not?
I got a permit. I ain't sweating it. But I'm sweating fighting, so I can still carry. I'm too old to fight. It's my last year in my 30s. I feel like that's appropriate age to stop.
You actually need to be worried if I'm running, because if I get to my gun before you get to me.
If I'm running, it's because I'm going to get my gun.
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Or I'm at least going to. No, I'm not coming back. I'm standing my ground.
You better take that 5 minutes or however long it takes me to get to my gun to run the other direction.
I'm standing my ground. So anyway, this is another hotel, but it's in Wilkes-Barre, which is like an hour northwest of Long Pond. There's not much going on at Long Pond.
This is over there where Hunter Biden vacations.
That's where his grandparents are from. And
it says Crack Den. Isn't that where he goes on vacation?
Yeah, this is his supplier based on the videos I've seen.
You know what? Like dot this one?
What the
heck did you do to the font?
Well, this is what happened.
I can count the dots in the letter T.
I don't know what happened. My printer did not hook up on the Wi-Fi.
You need to fix your AI printer.
And this is my wife's business printer.
This is a story of a girl who cried a river.
And we do have a rule that we don't use my stuff for business stuff. But unfortunately, something was wrong with the computer.
Yeah.
And she went around. I saw her computer on available networks. I printed it.
Gotcha.
I think it might be the font because I just copied and pasted. And this is a different website. This is Travelocity.
Garbage.
1 out of 5. So it might have been his font.
Maybe. Maybe it's just the quality.
And I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to go back and check it.
Yeah, I can read it.
By the time we go back to Lawn Pond,
I can read crack den, so you're good.
Yeah, it's a crack den.
Crack den. Crack den.
Honestly, he gave it a 1 out of 5. Honestly, the most disgusting motel I've ever stayed in. Reminded me more of a crack den.
Told you.
So this guy does crack.
Crack den. Cracked den.
You know, I cannot explain to you what the inside of a crack den looks like. I can tell you I've been past places I suspected of being a crack den, but I never went in.
You should really try not to do crack because it causes Peyronie disease.
It does help control the population, though. Camilla supports you.
It
Camilla and Bill.
does help control the population.
So Camilla and Bill Gates support you.
Yeah.
Shoot, they might even
You
give
can
you
get that killer Camilla
What?
crack den.
What does I remember?
Bill Gates will fund it.
When I was growing up in D.C., it was a crack crisis.
Yeah.
And people used to say, you know, jokingly, because I don't.
My time.
If I knew some crackheads, I didn't know they were
You
crackheads.
didn't know you knew them.
But we'd joke around when I was a teenager. You know, $5 for crack, $10 for a crack rock.
Crack rock. Get that crack rock.
I wonder if inflation has made it $20.
Red balls.
Problem is, I'm not going to go into a crack den to ask.
But you'd have to know what a crack den looks like to go into said crack den.
Well, I've seen people milling around an abandoned-looking house and people coming in and out. I'm assuming, well, being from where I'm from, it could be a meth house.
That neighbor you used to have, if you went in his living room, would that technically be a crack den since he's a meth head?
Well, actually, he had a den.
He's a meth head. So
he had a crack living room and a crack den.
Does that make his den a meth den?
He has an in-ground pool. Is that a meth pool?
Meth pool, yeah. Cesspool. That was his property. Uncle
They
Aaron.
had to bring in the guys with the suits and the rubber gloves to clean out his shed in the woods.
Oh, the shed?
Yeah.
Because there was a man pooping on his toilet, probably.
You know what, though? You can smell that crack. It smells weird. Not crack, meth. It smells chemical.
That crack smells weird. I was smelling the crack this morning. Now I can't sleep.
If you leapfrog my house and go to the next house,
you think they
retired colonel from the sheriff's department, and across from him is his nephew, current deputy in the sheriff's department. Do you think maybe you should not have a meth house and a meth lab?
I think that's exactly where you should have it. Right under their nose.
But they're related and still arrested them.
That dude in London.
They didn't cut them any slack being a cousin.
There was a dude in London who rented an apartment next door to the police department and grew 120 marijuana plants in the basement of that apartment.
But isn't that legal?
No.
It's not legal in England?
Right next to the police department. He grew, even if it was legal, 120 plants recreationally is not.
So it's
like 6 plants per person in New York or something like that. So 120 plus plants this dude grew. And got caught because of the odor.
So,
but what I'm saying is, apparently when they caught this guy, he had been doing this for multiple years. So, right under the police's nose.
I just assumed all that stuff was all legal in Europe.
No, ain't nothing legal in
Europe. You go to Amsterdam.
That's just in Amsterdam, man.
The coffee shop sells you weed.
Not outside of Amsterdam, they don't.
Wow. What about the country of the Netherlands? Is it legal all over the place? I haven't been out in the countryside sniffing tulips. Probably tulip pollen gets you high. I don't know. Do you know?
No, let's go back to the crack den, though.
Oh, yeah, the crack den.
Let's head over to the crack den.
Oh, we got an assignment. I don't know why because Miami Vice was big when we were kids. Let's each watch an episode of Miami Vice from the 80s for next episode and discuss it.
Okay.
Because we're going to Long Pond. We're not having an episode next week.
Yeah, we're off next week.
Yeah, we're burying my mother-in-law next weekend.
It's going to free up some space in the freezer.
And because it's in Minnesota, there's no way for us to get there quickly and back. Chop that out, dude.
I won't pick on you anymore about it.
No pre-cum for me.
Oh, I was just joking about it. I wasn't trying to go down any personal stuff. I was joking as in you're going to take her out. I know she's not in your freezer at your house.
Okay, well that's close enough. Let's not have the stalker follow me up to Minnesota.
That would be bad.
They might not have the money to follow.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they do.
There's no telling. Since we don't even know who they are.
Stalkers be sitting at the airport in Minnesota when you pull in.
And to be honest, they're just a social media stalker. Are they even social? There's something stuck. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it'd be social media. I don't know.
I think
We post our show on social.
We've had like
YouTube's considered social media.
We've had a very minuscule amount of listeners, but I guess we've achieved a certain level where you get a stalker.
One stalker per every 200 viewers. I think that's what it is.
But if you add in our shorts and everything else, we're about 40,000 a month.
Yeah, so that we'll go with that number. 1 out of 40,000.
You're going to get a psycho out of 40.
1 out of 200 sounds a lot.
I mean, that's a Braves game. There's a psycho at a Braves game every game.
All right, let's go read this review.
Oh, yeah, back to this review. Because we got work tomorrow.
And today.
If they call us, we got to answer.
Never 24/7, baby. 24/7.
When it's hot, it's money, money, money.
24/7, 8 days a week.
Don't answer that phone call. You're losing money.
25 hours a day, 8 days a week.
Anyway. It reminded me of a crack den. That's what put us down the crack den. Staff weren't there when we arrived. Well, that's bad. And we had to call a number to get someone down who gave us the key and took a $50 security deposit. You're never getting that back, dude.
Nope.
I mean, you kind of made a guarantee when you put it on your credit card.
Guarantee you're not getting that security deposit back.
And to be honest, I forgot. I found this one so long ago. It's like reading it for the first time for me. The room stank of smoke. Duh.
Always.
So much it made me constantly feel nauseous. Duh. The sheets were heavily stained. Duh. It's a yo. And furniture looked like it was from the 80s. Didn't that lady that got revenge said they bought Goodwill furniture 30 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah. And hadn't been worse since. We called up twice and waited 45 minutes for fresh bed sheets. Hey, you got them.
At least you got
1 star. They earned a 1 star. Not I wish I could give them a 0.
It might be in here later.
Oh, but he had to strip the bed himself. So I stripped the bed and sleep. Don't you think he meant slept?
Yeah.
And under a fresh bed sheet. Oh, he's lost the control of the English language here. Or she. We don't know if it's a he or she.
Could be both.
At night, the most inbred redneck children were pulling down their pants and lighting their farts on fire with cigarette lighters.
Awesome.
I must say, those kids... How does he know
they was inbred?
You've been to upstate New York. Aren't they kind of inbred? I mean, rednecks are rednecks anywhere in America.
Yeah, that's true.
I must say, those stupid kids were entertaining. So I guess he went out and watched.
Yeah.
They had those long fire starter lighters. And one would light the other's farts. I don't know. If I'm lighting farts, I'm not letting another man light them for me.
No.
Or boy. I guess they're kids.
Maybe as a kid you would have.
I have never seen such flames fly out of someone's ass. Wow. So they were flame throwing. They were Taco Belling it, dude.
That's hard to make happen, too.
It ended with a gigantic flame that flew out of one's ass, and there was a strange backfire. Then his balls seemed to light up. That is a mega fart.
Yeah, when your
the one with his crotch on fire was running around screaming for help, and the other one with the lighter decided that slapping the fiery balls was the best solution. All right.
Get off my nuts. Hot nuts. Get your hot nuts.
Poor kid caught his balls on fire and then had his scrotum slapped. LMAO.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's what you get.
It's a shame you did not videotape and get a release and put it on shorts.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
Or send it to us. We'll put it on shorts.
Yeah, for sure. Like, surely he videoed this. I would have.
The entertainment in the parking lot was not worth the price of admission to such a shit palace.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
I don't know. If
I wouldn't have stayed there, but I could have watched the.
If we're there in the element, we got folding chairs.
Yeah, we just sit out behind the element.
Sit out there. I'm assuming, I didn't look at pictures. It's one of those walk up to the door places. You can sit there and watch these guys burn their balls off.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they had no ass hair, because that would have been gone just with the first There She Blows.
That's hilarious.
The windows were smashed, and instead of being replaced, instead had used toilet tissue paper in the gaps. That's disgusting. We had that at the oceanfront what was it called? Beach House Inn?
Yeah, the Beach Crack Inn.
Yeah. The windows were smashed. All right, I read that already. The carpets and floor were heavily stained with trash everywhere. The AC unit sounded like a jet taking off and barely even ventilated the room. See, now that just made the fart fire even out the crappy room. No air. Basically no air. AC. The bathroom light produced a single lumen of brightness.
How do you know?
You couldn't see the dude taking a deuce.
He didn't know the guy was pooping in there.
We couldn't wait to leave the place and will never be returning. I agree. I don't know, though. I might go in just to see the
dude taking a dump.
No, the butane flying out of someone's butthole.
Oh, yeah. That would.
Every kid does it when he hears it. I only did it once. I did it with my pants on.
We didn't have those long lighters, though. We had to use the
well, and I didn't ask for assistance from my friends. Hey, dude, light my fart.
No, you could.
I said, watch this.
You could totally do it yourself. If you assume the right position. All right, so we're going to Pocono Raceway this weekend. Races at 2:30 p.m. Green flags at 2:30 p.m. Pre-races at 2. It'll be on USA Network. Also, MRN has the coverage on the radio this week. It is a 2.5-mile triangle. 3 turns, not 4, 3. Last race there, your top 10 and their 3-race average finish. Chase Elliott won the last race there with a 13.3 average finish. Tyler Reddick came in second, 7.3 average finish. Daniel Suarez third, 10.3. Christopher Bell fourth, 17.7 average finish. Kyle Larson finished fifth with a 5.3 average finish. Michael McDowell finished sixth with a 14.0 average finish. Seventh was Martin Truex Jr. with a 12.0 average finish. Eighth was Bubba Wallace at 9.0. Eric Jones finished ninth with a 20.7 average finish. And Austin Dillon finished 10th with a 14.7 average finish.
I was going to say, you're going to have to breathe. That's a lot of talking.
Alex Bowman has a 6.3 average finish here. Brad Keselowski's is 9.0, and William Byron's is also 9.0. I threw those last 3 in because Eric Jones and Austin Dillon probably won't be a factor this weekend. All right, last week, fantasy picks. I had Byron, Elliott, and Larson for a total of 39 points. Jamie had Keselowski, Hamlin, and Harvick for a total of 18 points.
Reddick.
Oh, yeah, I said Harvick. I meant Reddick. I just saw the ick at the end and went with
the ick.
My dyslexia filled Reddick in with Harvick.
That'll happen. Been there.
18 points. As you know, the lower point is, or the lower amount's the winner the way we do our points
here. First time in months, I'm leading.
Yeah, I think
it's been a long time.
Since the beginning of the season sometime. Yeah, it's 8. I feel like I had like a 13-point finish at Dega or something. You had like 40.
But if I could bet that in Vegas, I would have won some money.
Oh, no doubt. 5, 6, 7?
Yeah.
All right, so we pick a driver out of the top 10. I lost last week again. Therefore, I go first.
Who you got, dude? Who you got?
Out of the top, oh, man. Honestly, I mean, Truex is on a roll right now. He has a great average finish here. But so does Kyle Larson. So I'm going to go with Larson. Out of 11th through 20th, I'm going to go with... God, the rest of them suck. I can't pick...
Well, I mean, if you're basing it on New Hampshire, they all kind of sucked with Truex.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my options for Pocono. All right, here we go. I'll swing for the fences on this one because I'm sucking every other week. Michael McDowell.
Well, I mean, you're going to have a top 15 with McDowell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's steady.
21st through 36th. Ty Gillen, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, William Byron, Austin Cindric.
There's a lot of good choices in the bottom.
Not really. BJ McLeod.
Blaney's going to win another one if he keeps it up.
But his pit crews, and see, Kyle Busch, 36th. You know, he's one. He
either
last.
wins or he comes last.
That's my fear with Busch, and he's not. He wasn't even.
Yeah, you can't point him in. You're going to get a 36 if
right,
he doesn't get a. You're going to get a 1 or a 36.
Byron.
It's a good pick.
I don't know. It screwed me last week.
I'm telling you, he's going to win the championship this year.
The only difference between this week and last week's picks are Elliott. I traded Elliott for McDowell. I could have went with the exact same picks.
So who are your three?
Larson, McDowell, and Byron. Who do you got?
I'm going Denny.
All right.
You're right. Those the middle suck.
Yeah, I got McDowell.
Going Chase Elliott.
All right.
And there,
I
Ross Chastain.
Okay, I got Byron. So
I got to throw a Chevy in there. Another one.
Yep. I mean, I think honestly, it's either going to be Joe Gibbs or Hendricks.
Man,
in my opinion.
Kind of what I got at Toyotas and Chevys.
Yeah. I mean, I got McDowell in there, but that's a guaranteed.
McDowell's
top
out
15.
driving his car. It's a solid pick.
I might even get a top 10 out of it. Who knows? Well, that's all I got. You got anything left?
Other than, sorry guys. You know what? We should do a Zoom while I'm traveling and do our picks.
Yeah, we'll do a video or something.
Or short.
Something. Our picks will be posted on Twitter somewhere. We'll pick our picks before we go to the next race. So that's all I got. So thanks to everyone who listens, watches, shares the show on social media. We greatly appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and like our videos. Check us out on Spotify and rate us. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review like Brandon did. Send us a DM or an email like I mentioned earlier in the show. Every week we put our email address on here. It's no mystery. It's racecarbackwardspod@gmail.com. Please email us any questions or concerns or comments that you have.
I don't know. Some people can't find it.
It's right here. Make sure you check out our merch store and our website. It's racecarbackwards.com. Other than that, y'all have a great week, and we will talk to you in 2 weeks. See you later, y'all. Bye.
We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Y'all.
You just listened to Race Car spelled backwards. For that, we thank you.